All right, here we go. Another episode of Steve Lags Unfiltered. And this episode, I am going to give you a sneak peek of what happened in the month of January in the premier leadership program that exists today. That's Brandon Dawson's Business Mastery Leadership Program. I'm a leadership mentor and coach in that program. I co-lead that program with Brandon and an amazing person, Heather Block. So stay tuned.
And now, introducing your host, Steve Lags.
All right, let's get into this. So we had an awesome month in January. I get the opportunity to act as a leadership mentor and coach in this leadership program, Business Mastery Leadership Program that was created by Brandon Dawson. Just a little bit about that program, if you haven't heard about it. That's an 81-week leadership program. 81 weeks of online training videos, 200 plus videos. Each week is a particular leadership subject and has an assignment. In addition to those 81 weeks and those 200 plus training videos, once a week, we have an online Zoom class, which is Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And I co-lead those classes with an incredible person, Heather Block. Now, in each month, what we do is we have a particular subject and we attack a particular leadership subject. And then in addition to those weekly online classes on Wednesdays, when you're in the program, you also get 3 Business Mastery Leadership weekend boot camps. And these boot camps are incredible. We had one of them in January. It's for 2 days, each BMLP boot camp. And during those 2 days, we do some intense role play. We do assignments. It's very interactive. You get to connect and work and collaborate with other business leaders and other top performing leaders in all different types of industries. And also Brandon brings in some incredible speakers. One of those incredible speakers at the last event in January was Kevin Turner. Kevin Turner is former COO of Microsoft. Also on his resume, he was president of Sam's Club. So really intelligent man with so much wisdom that he gets to share with us, and we get to actually ask him questions and a little bit of Q&A. So awesome program. If you want to learn more about that program, before I get into this, email steve@stevelags.com. In a subject line, put BMLP and request some information. That's a great investment. It's $180K to be in that program, but this program is only for those elite leaders that want to really take their leadership and their company to the next level. All right, so what do we cover in January? So we're pretty cohesive with how we run this program. We basically have Brandon's material you go through those 82 weeks. But then on top of that, we lay each month with a particular topic. And in January, what we did was we talked about the 7 key leadership areas for a business and audited them to see if they were, and assessed them to see if they were properly prepared for success in 2024. Because in some industries, 2024 is going to be extremely challenging. And are they prepared? And I'm going to give you a little hint at what it is and what you're missing if you're not in that program. In January, this is what we covered. We covered 7 key leadership areas that you need to be prepared for a business in any given year. Now, here are the 7 key leadership areas. I'm going to give you a little hint of what we did. Number 1 was organizational targets identified. So have we clearly identified, defined, and communicated the organization's goals for the year? Now, there should be multiple goals in the organization, not just simply revenue. Revenue is one of them for sure. But in order to get that revenue, there's got to be, and make sure that the company's profitable and healthy, is going to be able to scale. There should be multiple targets. Have you defined them? Are they thoughtful? Are they meaningful? Are they really going to matter? Have you communicated them to the team? Are they clear? Next one, number 2, are organizational targets being tracked? So now that you define the targets, if you can't measure them, then how do you know if you're succeeding or not? How do you know if you're accomplishing them? And how frequently are you measuring them? You need to measure them frequently enough that you could be monitoring them. And the most important ones, you need to be getting measurements and daily, and sometimes even more frequently than daily. So that was number 2. Number 3, is there an annual plan in place to hit the target? So your organization should have an annual plan created before the year starts. This is something you should be working on in the beginning of third quarter, and it should be presented to the entire organization prior to the year or right after the year starts. If you don't have a plan to hit the targets, what is the likelihood of you hitting targets? If you have a goal and you don't have a plan to accomplish a goal, you're unlikely to accomplish it. It's no different in your personal life or your business, and businesses are very complex. It involves a lot of people. A lot of people need to understand what the plan is so they know what they need to do. If you don't have that identified and you haven't communicated that, that's going to be a challenge. Number 4, for leadership, key leadership area, being prepared in the beginning of the year are your employee development plans created based off annual reviews? So each year you should be performing an annual performance review with your team members. And the importance and the significance of doing an annual performance review is to identify the opportunities for that team member to develop, so that they can identify them and create a development plan to intentionally develop in those particular areas so that they can accomplish their goals, their professional goals, their financial goals, and ultimately many of their personal goals. So have you created development plans for your team members? Number 5, our team member targets identified. Now we have goals for the company. Now we got to back in targets for different departments and team members. Have you identified those targets for the team members? Have you defined them clearly? Have you communicated them? Do they know the expectations? Do they know what succeeding looks like? Do they know what failing looks like? Do they know what poor, average, good, great, excellent, remarkable is in terms of their performance? You should have that all clearly defined so they always know how they're contributing to the business. Now that you have team members' goals defined, are you tracking them? It's the same thing as the organization. Because if you're not tracking them and giving them the data they need to be able to measure their performance and monitor it, how do they know if they're succeeding? How can they pivot if they're on target or if they're off target and they need to pivot? If you don't have the goals, their targets properly tracked, they're not going to succeed. We need to set them up for success. And also, number 7 is the final key leadership area. Are your incentive plans in place? You want your incentive plans being in place in the beginning of the year so that everybody is financially aligned with how they're going to positively impact the organization, your clients, and ultimately the rest of the team members that are depending on each one of us to contribute in the business. Now, these incentive plans, should it be incentivizing your team members to go above and beyond their normal job responsibilities, what they normally do, and they're normally paid for in their salaries, to really contribute to the business and should stretch them. These should not be layups. These should stretch your employees. And as you're developing these, you're going to notice that some of them maybe are a little bit easier to accomplish and you're going to have to work on them. But this is very important. So we went through these 7 key leadership areas. We had all of the business owners and the leaders assess themselves from a 1 to a 6. We use what's called the magnitude of impact scale. A 1 would be like a poor, and a 6 would be remarkable. And we have poor, average, good, great, excellent, remarkable. So we get to assess ourselves. Now, where are we unprepared? Where's our low-hanging fruit? And what are the action items we need to put into place in 30 days, because it's not too late when we identify this early in January to make corrections and to get ourselves set up for better success. And also, this is a good assessment for you to understand where you are in terms of running a business and how well you are structuring the business plans. You're setting your team up for success. How well you're planning. You're going to see where you're at, and you've got to keep moving yourself in that needle and getting better and better each year. But in the beginning of the year, if you found whatever your big opportunities are, you need to attack them right away. So what was interesting is that we went through that whole entire assignment. We got a lot of great feedback, and a lot of business owners had a lot of blind spots that they identified, and some of them realized where they needed to make some adjustments. And we were able to help them and walk them through that. And then also, more importantly, we were able to get at the BMLP retreat, the 2-day retreat in January, we were able to get to the bottom of what is the obstacles, what are the reasons that we have these shortfalls or where we're not prepared in key areas of leadership. And so what we did was we put them through this exercise where we asked them to identify the current barriers, like what are the hurdles that are in the path of a particular key leadership area, and what are the reasons that we are not more prepared than we should be as a leader. So that was the first part of the exercise. And then also, let's anticipate additional obstacles that can occur. We want to predict and prepare. What roadblocks do we foresee obstructing our growth in each key leadership area? So then we went through that. And then the most important part here now once we get some clarity there, is empowerment through action. What can we actively do to take control and remove these barriers? We want to bridge the gap from our present to our ideal leadership potential. And we went through this exercise, and it was really interesting because I can think of one of the business owners where, he said that one of his obstacles was he didn't have enough space. And I always say, when you get an answer to a question, that surface level answer is very rarely the true answer that you're looking for. And you want to peel that back. You want to peel the onion layer at a time. And what we discovered when we, dug into a little bit deeper with that business owner, I said, well, tell me why you don't have enough space. Why are you not in a bigger space? You can make a choice to be in a bigger space. And after going back a little bit, what we uncovered was he just didn't have the courage to make the move. And his obstacle wasn't he didn't have enough space for his expansion. His obstacle was he just lacked the courage and he needed somebody to notice that for him and give him the encouragement to move forward and also the accountability to do something he was scared of. So, just like our employees struggle with some different things with courage and they need some enforcement. This is why you're in a program as a business owner. You need to go reach out of your business, whether you're being coached by somebody or you're getting into a program with other peers, and then there's going to be led and there's accountability. Because when you're the business owner, the only thing you're answering to is your employees, whether they come or go or stay. And you're answering to basically the bottom line, how much profit you make. But other than that, there's really no accountability, and you need to get that externally when you're a business owner. So that was really awesome what we did in January, and I just want to promote that Business Mastery Leadership Program because it is truly amazing. Every single month we go through very methodically, depending on the time of the year, whatever's timely. We cover another topic. I look forward to sharing more with you, but more importantly, I look forward to seeing you in that program and helping you become the amazing leader that you are destined to be. But I can tell you that it doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of intentional investment in getting the information that you're lacking and a lot of practicing and role-playing outside the organization, not on your people. So email me at steve@stevelags.com, put in the subject line BMLP, 180K. This is only for those ballers that want to be an amazing leader and really blow up their business. I'll get you in that program, and I'll get you on a leadership ride of your life.
That's all for today's Steve Lags Unfiltered journey. Keep soaring, leading, and conquering with us. Remember, it's not just about listening. It's about learning and taking action. If today ignited your drive, join us next time for more unfiltered wisdom. Subscribe, rate, and leave a review to fuel your success journey. Also, be sure to listen to us on your favorite podcast channel or outlet. Stay tuned, stay unfiltered, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Boom.